Greetings YouTube! This is Toy Customizer Wake Angel 2001. I know it's been a little while since my last video, but that's because I put just a little bit of extra care into this custom because I know that she's a character that's well beloved, even if she's extremely obscure. That's right, it's Honey the Cat. She was supposed to be in the arcade game Sonic the Fighters, but for one reason or another she was cut out from that game, and she's never really seen an official release. The only way you can ever get her is if you have a hacked ROM. You can't even exploit the GameCube port of it because the Sega really made sure to delete the crap out of her from that. But still, despite the fact that she was never released, a lot of people still like her, and PKIvysaur wanted me to make it. Now, from a 3D model of Honey the Cat I was able to find, I was actually pretty shocked to find that she looks almost exactly like modern style Amy in character design. You have to keep in mind that when Sonic the Fighters came out, Amy Rose still looked like her Sonic CD version. So the fact that Honey the Cat actually looked like the Dreamcast version of Amy Rose a couple years before that game even came out leads me to wonder if that wasn't a little bit of inspiration. But that's speculation. Of course, I'm using an Amy Rose toy, and you really want to see me get to work on this thing. So, of course, I start from the head as per usual. I separated the eyes, I gave her her bangs, and you might notice that the insides of the ears are blue. That's because there are a couple of metal Sonic spines that I cut off a long time ago. Again, I'm a parts hoarder. Now here's a funny thing. Most fan art I see of Honey the Cat has her with these three little white tips that come out of the ends of her ears, but close inspection of her in-game model reveals that they're actually a lacy hair decoration that she wears over her pigtails, and it only looks like tips of her ears from certain angles. So this is actually a closer representation of what Honey really looks like. As you can see, I also made a tail. That tail is actually Knuckles, but I flipped it around, rounded out the edge. And she has wings, little angel wings. They're made from a little piece of extra plastic that I found. And yeah, I had to do a lot of very careful and precise slicing with an X-Acto knife. You really should appreciate me more for the efforts I put. Of course, Honey the Cat's boots kinda look like Amy Rose's, except she has a narrower heel and pointier toes. So, taking an X-Acto knife to Amy's heel and a Dremel to her toes, I was able to more or less replicate Honey's shoe without really messing with the fidelity of the very stable foot that Amy Rose has. As you probably saw, she can even still use the stand, although she works without it, which is really great. The only parts I swapped out from another figure was her arms, and that was because I needed to make a pair of holding things hands, which you will see why in about a minute or so. These used to be Sonic's arms. Well, let's move on and just take a look at some of the glamour shots. Here is the completed Honey the Cat. So yeah, take her in, drink it all up. The lace parts of her costume are made out of thin sheets of plastic, which I cut into shape. All accessories are made out of polymer clay. And, yeah, she has what used to be Sonic's arms with holes drilled through the hands so that they can hold things. What is she going to hold? Well, I'm glad you asked. And here we see some pill bottles. Why pill bottles? Well, because PKIvysaur wanted this Honey the Cat to be able to wield some Pico hammers. So I needed something that was the right size and shape, but also lightweight enough that it wouldn't throw a 3-inch figure off balance. And wouldn't you know it, these things are just perfect for the task. So how good a Pico hammer can I make with a pill bottle? Ta-da! Made with nothing more than some polymer clay and a toothpick. Yep. You know, a lot of times I make the joke that I'm like the super ghetto customizer because I pretty much MacGyver together whatever I want with crap I find around the house. And this Pico hammer is really no exception. But you really can't doubt that it looks pretty damn sharp, and Honey the Cat can wield it quite effectively and convincingly. Oh, but what is this? Haha! Behold, another toothpick, a couple of crab corks, and a few pieces of polymer clay creates the anti-Pico hammer! Haha! What the heck is the anti-Pico hammer? It's the hammer wielded by the Rosie the Rascal, aka Auntie Amy from the comic book, the Archie comic book. Mobius spelled with an E. It's evil Amy Rose's weapon from the alternate universe where Scourge comes from. She also wanted that. And Honey can wield it, and she can wield both of them together. Yeah. I really like the way that the anti-Pico hammer came out, because I was kind of racking my brain about how to make it for a while before I just found these craft corks in a drawer and was like, Eureka! But remember that larger pill bottle? Well, you see, when bringing up the Pico hammer, PKIvysaur mentioned the Sonic and Sega All-Stars racing game and how big that hammer was. And also, you gotta remember, the Pico hammer doesn't have a specified size. It gets bigger or smaller depending on Amy's mood. Usually when she's angry, that mofo can get like twice as big as her entire body. So, of course, this thing, with a Q-tip for a handle, because it's a little bit longer, is the enormously, gigantically, ludicrously oversized Baka hammer! So yeah, this is the hammer that Honey wields when she's really pissed off at you and wishes for you to be part of the ground. Yeah, this hammer is just about as big as she is. It would completely throw her off balance if it didn't rest on the floor when she held it. And I think that this ridiculous image is a good enough place to end the video. So, this is Toy Customizer Wake Angel 2001. Thank you all for watching.